On a quiet night in 2022, while most of the world was asleep, something terrifying was happening inside one of the most advanced hospital networks in the United States. Lights were on, doctors were working, patients were fighting for their lives, but the computers were dying. No bomb exploded, no gun was fired, yet within hours, thousands of lives were at risk. This was not a natural disaster. This was not an accident. This was a cyber attack, one of the most dangerous ransomware attacks in history. Tonight, we uncover how a group of hackers nearly brought modern healthcare to its knees, and why the world was not ready. The silent invasion. At 2:17 a.m., hospital staff noticed something strange. Patient records wouldn't open. X-ray machines froze. Emergency room computers displayed error messages. At first, nurses thought it was a simple technical glitch, but within minutes, the entire system went dark. Emails stopped working, lab results vanished, even life support monitoring screens started malfunctioning. Doctors were forced to switch to pen and paper, a system that belonged to the 1980s, not the 21st century. What they didn't know was that deep inside their network, an invisible enemy was already in control. A ransomware group calling itself Black Spectre had infiltrated the hospital months earlier, quietly hiding inside its digital infrastructure. They had been watching, learning, mapping every system, every vulnerability, every weakness, and now they were ready to strike. What is ransomware? Ransomware is not like a typical hack. It doesn't steal your data, it locks it. Imagine waking up one day and finding every photo, every document, every bank record encrypted behind a digital lock. Now imagine that happening, not to you, but to an entire hospital system responsible for millions of patients. Black Spectre used advanced malware that encrypted everything: patient records, surgery schedules, pharmacy systems, emergency services, medical imaging, intensive care monitors. And then came the message: pay $50 million in Bitcoin within 72 hours, or everything will be deleted forever. This was not just theft. This was digital terrorism. Chaos in the ER. Within hours, chaos erupted. Ambulances were turned away. Emergency surgeries were canceled. Cancer patients could not receive treatment. One man suffering from a heart attack had to be transferred to another hospital 200 miles away. He died on the way. A pregnant woman in labor waited 6 hours because the maternity system was down. Doctors had to guess medication dosages because digital charts were locked. For the first time, technology, meant to save lives, was now putting lives in danger. Hospital administrators panicked. Cybersecurity teams scrambled, but the hackers were already too deep inside the system. This was not a simple virus. It was a highly sophisticated military-grade cyber weapon. Who were the hackers? Black Spectre was not a random group. Intelligence agencies later discovered they were based in Eastern Europe, operating from a hidden bunker disguised as a tech startup. Their members were former military programmers, some trained by governments. They were experts in digital infiltration. Their goal? Money, power, fear, control. They had attacked banks before, governments before, but hospitals. That was a new level of cruelty. Investigators later found they used a technique called supply chain infiltration, sneaking malware into hospital software updates months before the attack. By the time anyone realized, it was already too late. The government gets involved. As news spread, the U.S. government stepped in. The FBI, Homeland Security, Cyber Command. Every major agency joined the fight. But here was the shocking truth. Even the world's most powerful nation was struggling to defend against ransomware. Officials debated, should they negotiate? Should they attack back? Or should they let the hospital suffer? Meanwhile, patients were dying. Every hour counted. The hackers grew more aggressive. They started leaking stolen patient data online as proof of power, medical histories, diagnoses, even sensitive mental health records. It was not just an attack on a hospital. It was an attack on human dignity. The turning point. After 48 hours of total shutdown, cybersecurity experts discovered a backdoor hidden inside the system, a tiny digital key left behind by the hackers. It wasn't enough to fully unlock the data, but it gave defenders a chance. Teams worked around the clock, rebuilding the network piece by piece. Some systems were restored manually, others remained dead. At the same time, a secret international operation tracked the hackers' Bitcoin wallets. They followed the money through AM. They followed the money through a maze of digital transactions across 12 countries, and then they found a weak link. One hacker made a mistake. He logged in from a personal laptop. That was all it took. His location was traced. The raid. At dawn, special forces raided a building in Ukraine believed to be Black Spectre's headquarters. Inside, they found servers, encrypted drives, fake identities, and millions in stolen cryptocurrency. Several members were arrested. Others disappeared before the raid, but the damage was already done. The hospital would take months, maybe years, to fully recover. Families had lost loved ones. Trust in healthcare technology was shattered, and the hackers, some were caught, but many were still out there. The bigger lesson, this was not just one attack. It was a warning to the world. Hospitals, schools, governments, power grids, all are vulnerable. In the modern age, wars are no longer fought only with guns and missiles. They are fought with code. A single hacker sitting behind a computer can bring an entire nation to its knees. And that is far more dangerous than any army. As you watch this video, thousands of hospitals are still connected to the internet. Thousands of lives depend on digital systems. And somewhere, right now, another group of hackers may already be planning the next attack. The question is not if it will happen again. The question is when. In the digital age, security is not optional. It is survival.